Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Good evening and welcome to Fort Mill High School's Class of 2022 graduation ceremony. My name is Lila Williams, and it has been my pleasure to serve as your student body president. I would like to thank all of you, teachers, friends, and family, for being in attendance today. You have had an undeniable impact on all of our graduates tonight. Graduates, from winning state championships, participating in Spirit Week, and making it through a pandemic, we have had an eventful 4 years. I know we will never forget countless Friday night lights, Mr. Scroggs in his colorful pants, the R-Wing awning collapse, desk shields, pep rallies in the football field, Big Man on campus, and many more. We now know that we are stronger together, and we all belong in the Yellow Jacket universe. Thank you.
What if? Two simple words that I'm sure used to annoy our elementary school teachers so much. And even though we are so far from our playground days, I can think of no better words to describe what our time at Fort Mill High School has been like. We have grown up surrounded by what-if questions, and the magnitude of the what-ifs have grown up with us too. As freshmen, we had questions like, what if I don't know anyone? And we all had first day jitters on steroids. What if I have to make the never-ending walk from the back of the R-Wing down to the main building? We discovered that year both how long and how terribly short 10 minutes could be. Towards the end of the year, we asked, what if my friends and teachers leave and go to the new school? Our class size might have shrunk then, but the number of questions we faced only grew. As sophomores, we asked, what if we tried to storm the cafeteria during Spirit Week? We definitely attempted this feat dressed in our galactic best, but we were nowhere near as successful as our jazzercise run during senior year. We also had to ask harder questions, like what if I had my last day of school but I don't realize it? An expected 2-week break turned into, what if I can't see my friends for months? No matter how many Netflix parties, Zoom meetings, or FaceTime calls we had, nothing could replace the human-to-human interaction we had taken for granted for so many years. We faced a global pandemic during arguably the most difficult year of high school, and so as juniors, our what-ifs became more frequent. What if I go to school on a different day than my friends? While there were certainly benefits to the A-Day, B-Day schedule, school just wasn't the same without the other half of the student body. Everything about our lives was uncertain. What if I win my sports game or my club competition? But what if it's canceled and I don't get to compete at all? Not only were our what-ifs more frequent, they also became heavier. Standing on such rocky ground was difficult, and so we started wondering, What if my anxiety becomes stronger than it has ever been before? What if I don't know how to keep going? The questions kept piling on, and they definitely did not stop when we got to senior year. At every senior night, we faced so many what ifs. We had to have our last football game, play our last band performance and art show, and we started wondering, what if it's never the same again? We also had questions looking towards our future. What if I don't make it into my dream school or my dream job opportunity falls through? What if I just can't make it to graduation? Without our teachers, parents, and friends, most of us would still be stuck in the what ifs. The support of these people who love and care for us has been invaluable. With their help, we have reached the top of the mountain we have been climbing for so long. Now, 1,377 days after we walked into the R Wing for the first time, there are no more what ifs. There are only we ares. We are here. We are strong, we are determined, and we are resilient. We are happy, free, and powerful in the best way. We are hardworking, and we are able to tackle whatever life throws at us. We are battling through our anxieties, and we are striving to make the world a better place. We are reflecting on the journey we've had, but we are remembering to savor all the little moments. We are following our dreams, and we are pursuing our passions. We are starting on a new adventure, but we will always remember. We are a family, we are Fort Mill, and we are a part of the Yellow Jacket universe. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Seeing everyone sitting here today, I am reminded that I am alongside some people I have known since I was in 4th grade. Sitting in your graduation caps and gowns, it signifies a close to this stage. Looking out in the crowd of blue, I see some very special faces. Friends I want to thank for staying with me to the very end. There are no words for how special you, class of 2022, have made my high school experience. It wasn't what I thought it would be when I watched Katy Perry's music video for TGIF the first time, but it was equally as memorable. I would also like to give thanks to all families and friends out here tonight, specifically parents and guardians. I am sure you remember all the years of publication fees, sport passes, prom tickets, and Spirit Week purchases, but I promise they were worth it. Each of those experiences made high school memorable and special. And if it wasn't for those purchases, it was the emotional and supportive nature you gave us. I'm sure it was a hassle to pick us up from school games and practices when we were little tiny freshmen. And then when we were upperclassmen, you had to handle the stressed version of ourselves, figuring out what to do after high school. Or when we would be, what my mom likes to say, acting too grown. But speaking of my mom, I would like to thank my parents specifically. You see, both of my parents are immigrants from Peru, the place that occupies the spot in their hearts called home. Yet, they sacrificed everything to immigrate to the United States. My mother, in a foreign country, carried me, birthed me, and worked alone without her mother, sisters, or husband. And my father had to hear the cries of his firstborn daughter through a phone call thousands of miles away in Peru, unable to hold me in his arms for months or hold his wife's hand at that moment. They went through a ridiculous amount of obstacles to make sure I had a better life. I owe everything to them. They crossed the border so that I could cross this stage today. Gracias, mami y papi. I would also like to thank my teachers, because without them, my heart and my head would not have flourished the way it has today. Each and every one of my teachers has left a mark on me. but there is one specific teacher who holds a special spot. Even when I was not his student anymore, and definitely should have kicked me out of his classroom 1 or 2 times for talking his head off, he always left his door, and most importantly, his ears and heart open to me. And during application season and junior and senior year, he reminded us that acceptances or rejections do not define us, as many of you know. But when I got accepted into my dream school with his recommendation letter, he cried alongside me. Mr. Ruddy, you were and will always be the teacher that changed my perspective on education, so thank you. Whether you are sitting with the class of 2022 or sitting in the audience waiting for your turn to graduate, I have one piece of advice I would like to give. Make time for your mental health. A lot of people assume that being valedictorian must mean you worked hard, studied, and thrived always. But the truth is, sometimes I was not thriving. My actions and aspirations came with a price, one that felt too high to pay some days. It wasn't always pretty, but it was not my teacher's fault, or Mr. Scroggs' fault, or even the school's fault. If anything, this school, through the support of my teachers and guidance counselors, shout out to Ms. Patterson, has provided me the support and wisdom to thrive in high school and reserve me time, even if it meant sacrificing other things. So for everyone sitting here today, whatever you choose to do with your life, please keep in mind to reserve time for yourself. Good luck, class of 2022. You made it. With all of the craziness we've had in these past 4 years, COVID, e-learning, social movements, political backgrounds, battlegrounds, and high gas prices, we did it. And I want to say one more thing to all the Hispanics here today. Lo hicimos, camina con orgullo, which for all my non-Spanish speakers means we did it. Walk with pride. And to everyone, I will give you one quote that I live by. As the iconic Pitbull once said, dale. Thank you.
I'd like to welcome the members of the Fort Mill School District Board of Trustees, Chairwoman Spears, Vice Chairwoman Ms. Branning, board members Mr. Bodie, Mr. Bolden, Dr. Frateroli, Ms. McCarter, and Mr. Murphy, our Superintendent Dr. Epps, and members of the District Administration, Ms. Lordo, Mr. Romanek, Dr. Wakesness, and Mr. Young. Welcome parents, relatives, and friends. Welcome faculty and staff of Fort Mill High School, and most importantly, welcome class of 2022. It is customary to recognize the distinguished members of our faculty who will be leaving us for the next chapter of life, retirement, which also happens to begin this evening. Though all their journeys did not begin at Fort Mill High School, we are thankful that they end their careers as Yellow Jackets. Together, they represent more than 103 years of educational service to students. At this time, we would like to recognize our retiring support staff members, Mr. Hall and Ms. McLennan, and our retiring teacher here with us this evening, Ms. Lynn Smith. We thank you for investing your time and talents and passions in our students. Thank you for the lives you've touched. Enjoy retirement and know that you will always have a home in the Yellow Jacket universe. So here we are, class of 2022. Where do I even begin? You all are such an you are all an incredibly special group to me. Not simply because you are the last class to graduate during my time as principal, but because we have run the race and shared the entire journey together. Over the last 4 years, we've seen it all. We've seen everything from the R-Wing awning collapsing to me trying to rap at a pep rally. You were here for one normal year, and then you watched it change as our school shut its doors for the first time in history. But you were right there with me when we opened our doors again and slowly but surely brought back everything that made us special. You were the torchbearers of our culture, and you led the comeback story that helped us carry our amazing culture for future generations of Yellow Jackets. And over that time, I've watched you grow and mature and blossom into amazing people, just as you've watched my transition from a geeky, sometimes awkward, big-hearted, terrible dancing new principal to a much different, much more mature, geeky, sometimes awkward, big-hearted, terrible dancing principal with grayer hair. You embraced my introduction of phrases like Yellow Jacket Universe into the vernacular of our school. You tolerated me saying, "That's what Yellow Jackets do," on the announcements nearly every day. You took selfies with me, and you embraced the yes movement more than I ever thought possible. You and your families welcomed me at softball games, swim meets, wrestling matches, band competitions, and a dozen other types of events where I didn't know a soul, but was there to simply cheer you on. I always loved it when a parent from another school would point at the team and say, "Which one's yours?" And I usually got a perplexed look when I responded, "All of them." Through it all, I always felt welcomed, appreciated, and connected to you. I'm going to miss this, just as I'm going to miss all of you. A principal could not have asked for a better group of seniors and families to support and see me throughout my time. For that and 1,000 other reasons, I want to say a simple and sincere thank you. But enough of the mushy, sentimental stuff. As principal of our school, I'm afforded the special opportunity to teach the last official lesson to the class of 2022. I spent a great deal of time considering what messages, what parting words I would share with you. So here it goes, your last Fort Mill High School lesson. I want to talk a little bit about words and definitions. I love words. I love definitions. One of my favorite words is struggle. Did you know that one of the definitions for struggle is to contend resolutely with a task? I did know that. And did you know resolutely is defined as in a determined or firm manner? And did you know that a synonym for struggle is strive? And did you know that strive is defined as making strenuous efforts towards a goal, or to put it another way, to struggle vigorously? You see, I love words. In this digital age, I still own a dictionary. Actually, I own a couple of them. But the point I want to make to you today is that one of the secrets of the adult world is you are going to struggle. Not every day, not all the time, but there will be struggles in your life that you've been prepared for, and there will be struggles in your life that you simply aren't prepared for yet. You will struggle with big things, and you will struggle with little things. You may struggle in a classroom. You may struggle at work. You may struggle to balance your time. You may struggle to be the friend to your friends that they deserve. You may struggle to reach your full potential. You may simply struggle to be kind to yourself. But here's the important thing. Struggling does not mean failure. The truth is, struggling means successfully not giving up. So the next time you struggle, remember the definition of these words, that when you struggle, you are determined to contend resolutely. You are willing to give a strenuous effort in the hope that you can become better. Remember that your struggle is a sign of striving vigorously towards a goal. And that sounds awesome, empowered, and amazing. Aside from dealing with struggle, the biggest secret I have to share with you about life deals with words still. More specifically, verbs, nouns, and adjectives. If you fill your life with great verbs, you'll start to surround yourself with the right nouns, and you'll have your life described with the best adjectives. If you notice, it all starts with you. Your choices and actions set you on a course for success or failure. Choose to fill your life with great verbs. Choose to serve, to love, laugh, share, give, and work. Soon you will see that the choices and actions have begun to fill your life with worthwhile nouns. Please know I do not mean the nouns that are often glorified in society, like money, power, and fame, but meaningful nouns, like friends, happiness, joy, and fulfillment. And if you truly pursue this in your life, you will start to hear your life described with the best adjectives. Words like kind, wise, caring, noble, and good. The best part of this lesson is if you ever lose your way and find you are living a life defined by the wrong terms, If you want new adjectives, then change your verbs and change your nouns. Make different choices. Change what you do and surround yourself with different people and things. It is the instant reset button that you can press as many times as you need. It's that simple. Do the right things, surround yourself with the right people, and have a better life. Each of us has a dream, a heart's desire, and it calls to us. And when we're brave enough to listen and bold enough to pursue, that dream will lead us on a journey to discover what we're meant to be. My sincere hope for the future of each graduate here today is the same hope that I hold for my own children, that your future would be rooted in the core values of gentleness, wisdom, and kindness, that you would have the boldness to live a brave life filled with strength and courage, that you would not acquiesce to what is popular, but you would stand firm in what is right, that you will always have compassion for the vulnerable and find satisfaction in serving others, that you would treat everyone you meet with dignity and respect, regardless of your differences, that you may find your life's calling and pursue it with passion, that your determination and grit would see you through whatever challenges life sets before you, that all your actions would be rooted in love for your fellow man, and that you would lead a fulfilled life because of these things, because that's what Yellow Jackets do. You didn't think I wouldn't get it in. And so our journey comes to an end, but yours continues on. I encourage you to grab hold of your dreams and make them come true. So whether your path leads you to college, the military, or the workforce, or whether your journey takes you across the country or around the world, or has you putting down more permanent roots in this community, you will always take a part of home with you. You will always share a special bond. You, our graduates, will always be the Yellow Jacket universe. Class of 2022, I am so proud of you. I'll end the same way we did every morning this year, with a reminder that you are important. I love you, your teachers love you, and you belong in the Yellow Jacket universe. Thank you. At this time, I would like to present the candidates for the graduating class of 2022.
Amy Viviana Chiquihajas. Abigail Ruth Campbell. Sophia Ella Mucci. Evan Alexander Sipple. Brenna Elise Slaney. Abigail Claire Elhamami. Connor Glenn Clark. Dorothy Taylor Augenbrown. Jacob Broom Castino. Lila Grace Williams. Emma Elizabeth Caldwell. Kiana Daniela Aguilera. Liam George Aiken. Kayla Danielle Aker. Timothy Edicula Alexander. Ethan Michael Arndt. Matthew Tyler Arnett. Jenny Elizabeth Attaway. Zariah Tai Auguste. Sarah Marie Otten. Jacob Woodford Axton. Jackson David Botter. Sophia Claire Baker. Alexandra Lee Belserzak. Ava Brooke Balsinger. David Cole Bardsley. Olivia Rebecca Barfield. Taylor Brooke Barrett. John Kyle Nicolo Saihong Shin Barreto. Carter Hayes Barrow. William Connor Barrow. Ava Jillian Bartholow. Bryn Ariel Bartolini. Leah Isabel Baum. Joshua Ryan Beeman. John Christian Beatty. Lillian Grace Byrne. Kyan Ayodele Belazar. Julia Grace Belk. Killian Stewart Bell. Shelby Lynn Belt. Walker Ashton Bennett. Brenna Catherine Berkeley. Bailey Josephine Bickman. Nyla Jade Bieber. Michaela Grace Black. Miana Alicia Black. Meredith Grace Blackwell. Gavin Michael Blake. Bice Kegley Blevins. Wade Jerome Blythe. Ashlyn Caroline Bowe. Noah Ian Bogucki. Lucille Catherine Bolduke. Grace Olivia Boone. Emma Louisa Boatsenhart. Aiden Matthew Bowser. Austin Thomas Braxted. Lillian Kate Bramblett. Kamaya Ebony Victoria Braswell. Lucas Enrique Bravo. Marcus Boston Brinkley. Hallie Ann Brooks. Emily Ann Brocious. Kendall Madison Brown. Jackson Bard Brutzman. Katrina Page Budwig. Luke Christopher Bugert. Jaden Henry Burstein. Olivia Frances Burt. Reagan Annette Burt. Caitlin Riley Carnes. Bryce Edgar Cannon. Finn McDonald Carlin. Vincent Joseph Carnavale. Peyton Gage Kerrigan. Haley Christine Carson. Alexia Marie Carstow. Miles Andrew Carter. Abigail Grace Castino. Grayson Davis Cessna. Caleb David Chetham. Michelle Lee Kong Chen. Charlotte Ann Choate. Helena Angelie Syrian. Ava Grace Clancy. Maisie Knight Clark. Jackson Hugh Clark. Luke Montgomery Clark. Bruna Cott Coelho. William Ross Colombo. Bjorn Antoine Coltvit. Brinson Martin Connerly. Alexander Christopher Conlon. Xander Cole Conrad. Carter James Cooley. Jack Hugh Cooper. Marco Cornejo. Madeline Montgomery Cox. Lindsay Danielle Kraft. John Ellington Crane. Alex Cruz. Annabelle Wenyi Cuddy. Mia Shea Cunningham. Maria Grace Curley. Catherine Natalia Curtin. Alexis Marie Zapp. Sarah Mustafa Dadawala. Michael Salvatore Dialto. Chloe Ryan Davis. Jackson Walker Dawson. Isabella Nicole Day. Kylie Giselle DeLeo. Mateo de los Cobos Guerrero. Rebecca Soberay Decker. Emily Patricia DiGeronimo. Meriden Jane DeHaan. Olivia Marie DeHaven. Nadia Jade Dial. Bentley Con Dixon. Christian Nicholas Dodge. Bryn Myers Dove. Nora Page Dowling. Samuel Edward Drastel. Madison Ashlyn Drerup. Caroline Reese Drennan. Griffin James Dunn. Evelyn Nicole Ely. Cooper Dean Ident. Quentin Nicholas Eldridge. Morgan Paige Ensminger. Allison Brianne Evans. Levi Scott Feller. Mackenzie Ava Ferguson. John Charles Filburn. Noah Justin Fisher. John Alec Fight III. Logan Nicole Fleming. Sakari Maurice Floyd. Emily Elizabeth Fortenberry. Brielle Tiffany Fox. Dylan Warren Fraser. Ari Blue French. Layla Danielle Frost. Kaya Elizabeth Fuqua. Ashby Bliss Gacy. Victoria Ariana Gamble. Luke Garabedian. Brady Wayne Galt. Evan Vance Gesselbauer. Nina Zhao Gessler. Sienna Marie Gowertzman. Olivia Carmela Giorizzi. Logan Carter Gillespie. Brody Albert Gilmore. Tanner Benjamin Gold. Ryan Daniel Gonzalez. Tehran Danelle Gordon Jr. Eliana Grace Lee Gray. Holly Tristan Gray. Elizabeth Carson Green. Ivana Chanel Greer. Samuel Luke Griezmann. Connor Jacob Griffin. William Jeremy Grubb. Lillianne Samantha Haig. Sarah Ann Hayter. Rita Haidini. Holly Ann Hanlon. Zyriel Kumari Hardin. Edward Thomas Harmon. Chase Carlson Harris. Kit Harrison. Leah Christina Hassler. Carson Marie Heidel. Bailey Connor Helms. Jake Andreas Helms. Sarah Lauren Hensley. Elena Josephine Hermans. Kevin Hernandez Rosales. Alexandra Hunter Hill. Renee Grace Hillhouse. Casey Michael Hitch. Clayan Michelle Hobbs. Alexa Ann Hawk. Isabella Caroline Hoffman. Benjamin Alexander Hoffmeister. Bridget Nicole Holland. Kate Riley Hollis. Alexia May Holmes. Joshua Allen Hughes. Jocelyn Brianna Humphrey. Malachi Shamel Humphrey. Madeline Renee Hunter. John Ross Imler. Jeannie Carolyn John. Garrett David Jones. Robert Henry Jordan. Caroline Adele Kadish. Bennett Farrar Kemp. Ashlyn Kathleen Kenny. Georgia Catherine Kern. Madison Patricia Key. Danielle Nicole Kilbarger. Andrew Carter Killian. Caitlin Mariah Kilpatrick. Hunter Andrew Kimker. Stephen Christian King. Evelyn Lentz Knighton. Melina Reese Cons. John Elvis Kwame. Allison Lynn Kowalski. Brooke Elizabeth Krantz. Angeline Marie Kravitz. Jasmine Lindsay Kravitz. Eden Jeanette Kresser. Olivia Catherine Kunith. Olivia Sophia Laney. John Patrick Langen. Shane Tyler Lasky. Justice Ayana Law. Austin Jackson Lawrence. Hannah Reese Ledford. Sydney K. Lemon. Jacob John Levine. Jackson Gerald Lindquist. Emerson Lane Little. Annalisa Grace Livingston. Aiden Woodrow Logan. Althea Grace Logan. Ariana Donasari Lochnoth. Lennox Iman London. Jonathan Adolfo Lopez. Ella Grace Lowry. Adam Christopher Luvano. Natalie Marie McPherson. Amalia Elizabeth Mataraz. Avriel Dominique Maddox. Matthew Joseph Major. Jaden Talon Mammon. Christina Nancy Manfredini. Ryan Elizabeth Mantell. Emma Ty Marchand. Janice Marcus. Camden Francisco Marks. Alexander Charles Martin. James Thomas Martin. Brandon Andres Martinez. Bryce Mitchell Matthews. William Somerville Mays. Luke Gerard McCarthy. Brandon Cole McCarty. Madison Grace McCarty. Riley K. McClanahan. Daniel Paul McDonald, Jr. Savannah Elizabeth McGee. Blair Elizabeth McGowan. Kelsey Lauren McGuire. Jaden Grace McCone. Madeline Anna McMillan. John Duncan McNabb. Grace Kathleen McNeil. Lily Madison Meek. Emily Kate Meltzer. Andreas Menendez. Louis Carter O'Grady Merkel. Sophie Marie Mertens. Carly Reagan Messer. Bryce Aaron Miskiewicz. Amberly Rose Miller. Caroline Carter Miller. Kathleen Grace Miller. Sean Robert Miller. Benjamin Michael Miserandino. Caden Joshua Mizuraka. Hamid Mohammed. Molly Laverne Mondrowski. Benjamin Oscar Moore. Zoe Michelle Moore. Sarah Elizabeth Moorhead. Mia Jolie Moran. Caleb Robert Morris. Sarah Catherine Mohan. Evan Lucas Mucciaroni. Alyssa Eileen Nadeau. Joseph Holt Neese. Kyle Patrick Nebbs. Jason Ty Twan Nguyen. Andrew Faulkner Nichols. Briggs Allen Naday. Maddox Malcolm Nielsen. Connor Reed Najoka. Destiny Burry Nivens. Nana Ko Ofori Nkrumah. Isabella Grace Noel Harmon. Caitlin Elena O'Connor. Jolynn Michelle Odeka. Alyssa Paige Ofana. JJ Ogwal Jr. Connor George O'Hara. Anthony Nico Palermo. Nandana Kuliet Panoli. Nathan Todd Paradis. Preston Blake Parker. Karan Hitesh Patel. Ella A. Patel. Caroline Grace Patterson. Ryan Joseph Patterson. Lindsay Abigail Pakovitz. Tyler Scott Pendleton. Shalia Tonay Perkins McElveen. Spencer Andrew Phillips. Gavin Alexander Pierce. Savannah Kate Pearson. Kate Marie Pilley. Anthony Michael Pontecorvo. Riley Stephen Poore. Olivia Rose Poteet. Madeline Virginia C. Prickett. Torin Joel Priest. Justin Elliott Pringle. Lillian Faye Nivens Pryor. Gabrielle Lois Prue. Catherine Virginia Prue. Marina Faye Puno. Ashen Andrew Quinn. Ariana Gabriela Quintanilla Velez. Joseph Luke Ramey. Connor Hewitt Rasmussen. Grace Caroline Ratledge. Pranav Ravi Biruthaji. Luke Coakley Raymond. Morgan Elizabeth Reading. Trista Faye Reed. Raimundo Reyes III. Riley Addison Reyes. Jacob Perry Rice. Benjamin Allen Riemann. Elizabeth Marie Riles. Neziah Mavis Raquelme Fabre. Garrett Michael Robb. Benjamin Tucker Roberts. Keziah Armani Robinson. Kennedy Alexis Robinson. Ryan Andrew Rosebrock. Lawson Matthew Ross. Elizabeth Rose Ruddy. Lucas Michael Ruddy. Kira Lane Ruel. Hannah Elizabeth Runkle. Neve Josepha Russell. Dyson Michael Rudder. Melina Rose Rudder. Elaine Claire Sack. Dylan Jordan Sasser. Joseph Raymond Shepler. Madison Lynn Schreiber. Madeline Ann Serene. Ariella Esther Serrano. Macy Elizabeth Settle. Evan Pierce Shelton. Eve Sonia Shia. Elizabeth Shannon Shive. Lily Elizabeth Shortis. Jefferson Miller Schaus. Lauren Abigail Sims. Daniel Martin Sipple. Caitlin Emily Smith. Caitlin Elizabeth Smith. Madison Nicole Smith. Liam Tyler Snodgrass. Logan Alexis Snodgrass. Samantha Isabel Socius. Preston David Sparks. Sydney Marie Spears. Sophia Bernadette Stelford. Kara Dawn Stravopoulos. Caroline Alex Stickles. Catherine Renee Stillwell. Hannah Elise Stone. Brianna Marie Streelman. Jared Brian Strickland. Trevor Stephen Striegel. Sean Colin Stubenrauch. Joshua Thomas Sturgeon, Ella Alexander Sullivan, Patrick Owen Susanto, Ava Marie Swenson, Adam Falk Tanksley, Zachary Ryan Tatum, Annabelle Lynn Taylor, Ryan Maddox Taylor, Sebastian James Taylor, Rachel Hope Templeton, Isabella Marie Thomas, Justin Benjamin Thomas, Patrice Aurora Thomas, Colin Parker Thompson, Joshua John Thompson, Ricky Lamont Thompson, Jr., Rockland Coleman Thompson, Sophia Gabrielle Thompson, Mark Andrew Daniel Thompson, Andrew Michael Threet, Emma Blake Tisdale, Caitlin Madison Tolbert, Jackson Stewart Tompkins, Nicole Marie Toner, Phoenix Zachariah Clifton Toon, Chase Mackenzie Treadway, Jacob Morgan Truxas, Celeste Valencia Camacho, Brian Jesus Valladolid Mogollon, Lauren Elizabeth Valavec, Julian Van Kampenhout, Charles Keith Veltri, Diego Villarreal Romo, Olivia Rose Wade, Trinity Joy Wall, Curtis Robert Wallet, Deontay Jaden Walton, Shay Danielle Washella, William Benjamin Weaver, Jr., Ryan Andrew Wiesinger, Peyton Elizabeth Welch, Nathan Christopher Welsh, Ansley Merritt West, James Gregory Westerberg, Sam Eloise Waybrecht, Aubrey Malia Wheely, Nathaniel Jace Weir, Sydney Grace Wilcox, Nora Jane Wilkerson, Kylie Wilkinson, Dearen Elizabeth Willits, Kaylee Joy Williams, Haley K. Williamson, Savannah Lynn Williamson, Abigail Ray Willoughby, Kai Ingram Wilson, Brian Michael Wisniewski, Elliot Andres Walesic, Landon Taylor Wolf, Elena Catherine Wong, Jacob Anderson Wood, Brendan James Ray, Grace Elizabeth Yeager, Catherine Logan Yarborough, Scott Austin Young, Evan Andy Zovkik, Jessica Renee Roos.
Class of 2022, please rise. Y'all ready? We are! Class of 2022, I have got one last question for you. Are you ready to make this graduation official? Yes! There it is. Then by the power vested in me by the state of South Carolina and the Fort Mill School District Board of Trustees, I now pronounce you graduates of Fort Mill High School. Please remain standing for the Fort Mill High School alma mater farewell and recessional.
Rising in the golden sunshine, grandly to the view, reaches our dear alma mater, proudly to the blue. Sing her praises, never ceasing, fling her banner high. Hail to thee, our alma mater, dear old Fort Mill High.
Hello again. Hello again. Hopefully you don't mind me talking again. But as your senior class president, I just want to say, congratulations, you did it. We did it. This has been one of, sorry, my hat's falling. This has been one of the strongest classes that I think history has ever seen. We have gone through the unthinkable. So I am proud of each and every one of you. But this also means that no more turning in assignments at 11:58 on Google Classroom anymore. Probably will be on Blackboard instead. And no more doing the awkward half-run, half-walk shuffle when you hear the sprint bell, which I know some of you saved you, including me. But that also means that we no longer hear Mr. Scroggs' morning announcements that we hear every single day that reminds us that he loves us, our teachers love us, and that we belong in the Yellow Jacket universe. But that is something that will always be with us, that will always tie us together, that we are Yellow Jackets. So no matter where you go after today, whether that is in higher education, military, workforce, or taking a gap year, remember, you are a Yellow Jacket. Congrats, everybody.